When did you first come across the concept of poverty proofing and what did you think of it?
So I came across it when I returned to my old school in Hetton called Hetton Lines Primary, and I was speaking to the deputy head there, and I said, you know, is this, when I was there, this area was very deprived, and is it still the same? And she said it is, but we've just done this new scheme called poverty proofing, and then just said so many amazing things about the very simple but very effective ways they've managed to sort of destigmatise poverty for kids, so make kids who are a bit poorer feel more comfortable and less sort of disparate from their peers.
What kind of stuff did you come across when you were at school that kind of made you feel kind of stigmatised?
I mean, the thing that I talk about a lot is actually going up to get your school dinner token.
Right.
I say in the book that that I felt shameful about it, but I didn't even know why I felt shameful about it. I just knew that it was like this bad, embarrassing thing. Also things like having the right clothes, for instance, another example. We had my shoes fell apart and my mum sent me to school with blue tack to put them together, and we're spending a whole day being like trying to, you can't hide your feet. I mean, it's really almost impossible, but you know, but that sort of that awareness that you're not the same as other kids, and I think that's where poverty proofing is amazing, because what you're doing is making sure that as much as possible all kids feel the same, they feel equal, and so they feel equally able to reach their full potential.
That's great. What do you see as the main challenge of children today growing up in poverty?
I mean, I think actually like stigmatization is a huge thing. I mean, I think children are very resilient. Certainly, like that was my experience as a child growing up in poverty. But that feeling of shame, that feeling of not quite being good enough, I think is very damaging, and it lasts for a long time. And then you end up with dysfunctions that go on into adulthood, you know. So what you end up with is generations and generations of dysfunction. So I so admire the work that you guys are doing with poverty proofing, because I really think you're tackling that at such an early time when you can really still help these kids reach their full potential.
And how about you? What was it that kind of turned your life around and kind of made that difference?
Amazing teachers. So Hetton was a really good place for me, actually. It was a particularly bad time for my family, and but I had amazing teachers, Mr. Green, Mrs. McLaren, Mrs. Stafford, and they did all sorts of small things to make sure that I knew that I was being looked after, and to encourage me in my work, and to make me feel smart and you know, capable of doing what I wanted to do. And then I just had a sort of a string of great teachers who just helped me along when I needed it, and then I had access to libraries, and again those sort of great public resources where there's somewhere that's free and safe and sort of, you know, inspirational to go to, I think is so important for poorer kids.
And finally, what advice would you give someone living in difficult circumstances at the moment, like what you went through?
I'd say seek out whatever support you can. You know, you guys are doing amazing work, you know. Find out from your GP or your local health visitor, or from your or just, you know, if you can go online at your local library, find out what's available to you. There's a great website called Turn to Us, which will tell you about local grants that might be available to you, and just really seek out all the support that's there, because it is there. And nobody's judging you for being in those situations, because people understand that it is not your responsibility. It's something that's happening to you rather than something you've got on yourself.